Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there to try out food and drink items. I eat stuff and drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, I just got through reviewing a couple of beverages, and now I want to move on to a salty treat. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Well, it happens to be one of my Static X shirts. You can kind of, Static X, it's cool. This is actually off of their Machine Killer tour, which they did with Seven Dust. That was a fucking super badass run. They had a co-headlining thing going on, and it was a proper co-headlining thing too, because I've been to shows that were like tours that have been like supposedly co-headlining, but it was clear that like one band was like the actual band and the other one was kind of, the vice band. And but that was not the case with this one. They went over there, they, would actually trade off dates as to, who went over there and closed out the set. I really enjoyed the one that I like Seven Dust. I even got, some merch from them too, but I'm definitely a bigger Static X fan, so I was happy that the one that I got to go see, the show I was there for, was one of the ones where Static X was, the closer. But regardless, amazing band, love their stuff. I actually have videos of the performances that I've attended. They're on the channel as well, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I can point you in the right direction as far as their music goes if you're interested, because I think they're a great band. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, I went out over the weekend on a bit of a trip to one of my favorite places, a place called Rocket Fizz Soda and Candy Shop. There's a few locations of them. And I've reviewed any number of things from them. I could genuinely build my entire channel just off stuff from that place. They have all kinds of weird sodas and candies and all kinds of stuff. And I love, usually I do the sodas more than anything, but I always try to, keep an eye out for the snacks, and there's always tons of stuff I could do. But every now and again, I run into something where I'm like, well, I need to try that. And that brings me to, boom! It's from Tayto, Worcestershire Sauce, flavored potato chips. The secret's in the flavor. Castle cooked since 1956. Is castle cooked a type of cooking, or do they actually cook it in a castle? I don't know. The Potato Man is slightly disturbing, but in kind of a fun, old-school mascot way, if you get my, what I'm saying. It's got a little thing on the back here. Set deep in Ulster's countryside is Tayto Castle. Apparently it's a castle, where Tayto has been making some of the world's best loved crisps and snacks. I'm going to call them chips, folks. I know that where they're from, they're called crisps. I'll try to call them crisps. We'll see if I can manage it. Since 1956. Using the best local ingredients, Mr. Tayto selects the finest specialty ground spuds and gently cooking them until crispy golden. Finally, in a secret part of Tayto Castle, our crisps are given a special flavor, blah, 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 blah. So, okay. These are, what I'm assuming, are Worcestershire sauce flavored potato crisps. I'm trying for you. The only thing I'm aware of from Tayto is Stuart Ashens, who has a channel on YouTube. He went over there and he reviewed a couple of their products years ago. And, so I was sort of aware of that. So when I saw the branding when I went to Rocket Fizz, I was like, oh shit, I know that. So I love Worcestershire sauce. I need these to be delicious. But let's give it a thing for the thing. Something like, don't do that. Keep the tension, Brandon, keep the tension. Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Let's give it a go. Love Worcestershire sauce. Love it. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Oh, you get so few potatoes. Tayto Man, what are you doing to me? Here's the bag. It's a small bag. It's nowhere near as big as the size of my big ass head. But even with that being the case, still not getting very many chips. But big ass potato chip, so let's give it a go. I'll never speak poorly about you again, Tayto. Even if I don't get as many chips as I feel like I should. Oh, those are some good chips. That hits in the way that I like the way that Worcestershire sauce hits. Because I didn't know, like, was it going to be a light flavor? Was it going to be... Because the thing with Worcestershire sauce is it has a very strong, very pronounced flavor. But, like, when you go over there and you actually apply it to food and stuff like that, it becomes a lot more delicate, you know? Like, it's not like a thick sauce or anything. So it kind of, you know, the flavor spreads out a bit. But no, these are very concentrated. These are immediately you taste it, and you taste that Worcestershire sauce tanginess. These are good. I've got a tanginess, a savoriness, and almost like a very light spiciness, you know? Not spicy, but kind of tingles the tongue just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Did you do the rest of the thing in the fucking Irish accent? I don't think I should. I don't want to go over and piss off the fine people of Ireland with my bullshit. Are they from Ireland, by the way? I'm going off Tayto because that's what I'm thinking, but did it say? I don't know. But whatever. No, I really like these a lot. And the chips themselves are actually pretty nice. They're almost kettle-like, but like they're somewhere in between like a normal crisp and like a kettle crisp. I'm gonna say kettle chip, and that is gonna be really weird to keep doing. In terms of the texture and like the crunchiness, because they're definitely crunchier than like a more traditional crisp, but not as crispy as like a kettle chip. So I actually really like the texture and sort of the structure of these. Yeah, however these were prepared, I really like it. I like the texture, I like the structure, I really like the flavor. And I was a little bit worried that even with my love of Worcestershire sauce, that I was going to get sick of the flavor after a few chips because it is so rich and it's like such a defined flavor. Not the case. I'm absolutely loving this. I could gorge on a giant bag of this and be happy. I like these. But, two questions have to be asked. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? Yes and yes. Well, yes and yes-ish. For me personally, I think these are fantastic. I like everything about them. Like I said, I love the structure of them. I like the crisp that I get from them. And I like that flavor. I didn't know if they were going to be able to nail it properly. And they did. It is just, it hits exactly the way that I want that Worcestershire sauce taste to hit. And that impresses the hell out of me. So much so. And some of you might know what's about to come. I don't usually do this for like, you know, like, oh, just name brand products or whatever. I'm calling this the business. And if you don't know what that means is, if you're not familiar with my channel, when I call something the business, that means that basically this is almost like a perfect representation of the item, right? As it's supposed to be. And I really do feel like that's kind of the case here. Like, yeah, you could maybe do things a little bit, you know, tweak it a little bit. But the fact that the crisps themselves are absolutely, like I said, really like the texture on them, really think they're great. And they just seem to have a nice taste and seasoning anyway. But the fact that they nailed that Worcestershire sauce so perfectly that even me, you know, borderline Worcestershire sauce addict is totally down for, I'm calling them the business. I would gladly get a big old bag of these damn things and just that would be my afternoon. So I love these. If I'm recommending them though, here's the thing, you gotta like Worcestershire sauce. That's really what it comes down to. And I would say that most people are probably cool with Worcestershire sauce, even if we can't always pronounce it correctly, myself included. But I think that, you know, I'm sure there are people who just don't like it. That's the main thing to take away from it. Like, because if you're not into that, you're not going to be into these chips. But otherwise, I would say if you get the opportunity, absolutely. And if you happen to be from the land of Tayto, I would say get out there, get yourself some Worcestershire sauce. I don't know if these are like a regular flavor or these are, just like a limited time. But man, oh man, I hope, if nothing else, I hope that an American company, comes out with their version of these. Not to say that I don't want these. I would be more than happy to get these. It's just we don't get Tayto stuff here as a regular brand here in America. If they want to break in and they need a brand representative, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go with your yourselves a truly Worcestershire sauce-tastic rest of your life, because it's so good. And if you don't have that, and for some reason you happen to have an even more obscure item, you can use mushroom ketchup. I reviewed that, by the way. It's on my channel. It has a very similar sort of flavor profile to oh man, now I want to use that on something, to Worcestershire sauce. Final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your take on Worcestershire sauce? Are you into it? Do you hate it? Is it not your thing? I got into it because of my dad. My dad was, he wasn't much of a cook per se, but he could make some stuff, definitely more stuff than I can make. And one of the things, man, he was good with meat. He wasn't like a grill kind of guy, though. Usually you think meat, you think grill. My dad was always, he was like an oven, a stove kind of guy. But man, he'd make some bomb-ass burgers, and he'd just season them up, and, Worcestershire sauce was one of his favorite go-tos, and man, did I learn to love it. So I used to actually go over there, this real thing. I used to take the Worcestershire sauce, like the actual Worcestershire sauce too, with the paper shit around it. I used to take the cap off of it, pour a little bit into the cap, and just do a shot of Worcestershire sauce every now and again. I tried once doing an actual shot of it though, filling it like an actual shot glass, and that did not go well. Turns out that little thing is just enough. But anyway, bye.